It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for The Last of Us on HBO. On this video we have some pretty cool behind the scenes photos and some footage from filming that they were doing. Now these are potentially the final footage and images that we're gonna see for season 1 of the show, because they have officially wrapped for season 1 of The Last of Us. Filming has concluded at this point. We're getting closer and closer to the official release, which is going to be in early 2023. But we're going to go through the pictures and the footage and kind of break it down, and we're going to talk about the possibility that they were actually filming the final scenes of the game. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break it all down. Alright, as always, before we jump into this, smash that like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's dive right into it. They have filmed for The Last of Us for the last few months in Alberta, Canada, until just last Friday when filming officially wrapped. They have filmed mainly in a city called Calgary, which is the city that I live in. I've been able to visit set a few times in the past and capture some pretty cool photos and footage that you can check out on the channel. We also looked a lot at pictures and footage that other fans captured as well. And this time around, again, all of the stuff that we're gonna take a look at is things that other fans were able to capture, and I just compiled it, and we're gonna go through it and break it apart. All of the links to my sources will be in the description, so you can go check them out. First, we're gonna take a look at some filming that they were doing out in the open. In this first one, we see Joel and Ellie, what appears to be rail tracks. Now, these are not the actors for Joel and Ellie. These are not Pedro, Pascal, and Bella Ramsay. These are their doubles, which is interesting. So, whatever they were doing, they're probably doing it from far away or from angles where you don't necessarily need to see the faces of the actors. We have another closer up shot right here. Now the attention to detail is amazing. We've talked a lot about this throughout the last few months when we were talking about the behind the scenes photos that we've been getting and stuff like that, but in this particular one, you can really appreciate it. Take a look here. We can see Ellie next to Ellie from the game. We can see that their backpack is pretty much identical. Now obviously we did see this exact backpack in the first promotional poster that they released for the show, so it's not like the first time we're seeing it, but it's pretty cool to kind of see it again, because it just shows you how amazing it is compared to the original and how close it is. Like, the attention to detail is insane. We can see the toy that is hanging from Ellie's backpack is pretty much the same from the game to the TV adaptation. So that's pretty awesome. But the next picture is a wrecked car that was also near the rail tracks. We've seen a lot of these types of vehicles in the past, so I'm not gonna really dive into it, but we see some camera crew right there as well, and we see another vehicle nearby as well. Going back to what I said earlier, it is very likely that they are actually filming the final moments of the game right after everything that happened at the hospital with the fireflies. We did see a pretty intense and pretty gut-wrenching scene between Joel and Ellie. They were talking about everything that happened and kind of reflecting on what happened and everything like that. Now obviously, with the pictures that we looked at, that's not exactly the scene that they're filming. Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsay, who are the actual actors, did the actual filming for this scene, assuming that that has been done. But all I'm saying is that they were probably just filming the finishing touches for this particular scene. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like. Now there is another thing that kind of proves this, and that has to do with, again, the final moments of the game, but before the one we just looked at. If you remember, after the hospital firefly scene, Joel was driving Ellie, who was still in a hospital gown, and they were driving away from the hospital. Interesting enough, they were doing some sort of a filming with a drone that we can actually see here, and they were basically filming a vehicle that was driving in the middle of a road with forests all around it, and that definitely appeared to be similar to the scene from the game right after the hospital firefly scene. It's definitely possible that that was the scene that they were filming. Before we move on to the next thing, I do want to show a few footage that was taken also from that particular location that we just saw pictures of. So we can see right here the doubles for Joel and Ellie. Now obviously we don't see where the camera is, but I'm assuming that the camera is at an angle where you can't actually see the faces of the people, because then in that case they needed to bring in the actual actors. It's just the two doubles walking back and forth. That's all it is. There isn't much reveals about what they're actually filming or what they're doing, you know what I mean? But it's cool to see nonetheless. I'm just gonna let the clip play here. Obviously we see Joel and Ellie walking away, and I'm assuming the camera is pointed at their back. And in another footage we can actually see a drone also being used to film the actors, or the doubles I should say, but like you see, it's from a distance. So that goes back to what I said, it's probably just some finishing touches that they were doing and not the actual scenes. But that's pretty much it. That's all the footage. Now, this obviously means that this was not Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey's last day on set. Their last day on set when they were shooting was actually, I think, on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. And the scenes that they were filming was at a location that we call the Utah Emergency Camp. Now, for this particular shoot, I was actually there. There was actually tons of awesome HD pictures that other fans captured. We talked about all of that on a separate video, but at the end of that filming day, they actually clapped and in a way celebrated, and it definitely appeared that that was the final day on set, or the official final day on set for the actual actors. But aside from Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, who played Joel and Ellie, Craig Mazin, the director and one of the writers, was also there. So that's pretty cool. So we know that he's going to be involved in whatever that story is that they're shooting for, like whatever episode that's from. But like I said, this was the official final day for the actors of Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal. And the shooting that they were doing on Friday was probably just the doubles of Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, and they were probably just doing some finishing touches and not any actual scenes. Now, we also do have some pretty cool photos of some things that were there for the final day of shooting, most likely on the Thursday, like I said. There's one from Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey that says, "We will miss you," and it has the "That's a Wrap" on at The Last of Us on the picture that was posted, so that's pretty cool. There's also a Fireflies logo on whatever this is, like some sort of a board, so that's pretty cool. We also have Bella Ramsey, her chair, and this is probably on the last day of set as well. And then we have some pretty cool behind the scenes photos of Bella Ramsey, Pedro Pascal, and Craig Mazin on the set on the final day of shooting. We do have Pedro Pascal holding a revolver, which is definitely cool. We did see him swinging that around in some of the footage that we looked at in the last video where we talked about this. We have another picture of Craig Mazin here, and this final picture of Bella Ramsey and Craig Mazin on the set. But that's pretty much it. That's everything that I wanted to talk about. I hope all of you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.